దక్షిణ భారతదేశంలోని అతి కొద్ది మంది సిక్కు యాత్రా స్థలాలలో ఒకటైన గురునానక్ జిరామాన్ స్తూ అమృత్ కుండ్ గురుద్వారా ముందు ఉన్న పవిత్ర చెరువు సమీపంలోని నీటి బుగ్గలు నుండి నీటిని సేకరిస్తుంది. సిక్కుల పవిత్ర గ్రంథం గురు గ్రంథ్ సాహిబ్ను సందర్శకులు సుఖ్ ఆసన్ గదిలో చూడవచ్చు. బీదర్ నగరం బెంగళూరు నుండి 700 కిలోమీటర్స్ దూరంలో ఉంది. హైదరాబాద్ నుండి కూడా దగ్గరగానే ఉంది. ఇటీవల ప్రారంభించబడిన బీదర్ విమానాశ్రయం సమీపం విమానాశ్రయం బెంగళూరు నుండి రోజుకు ఒకసారి విమాన సర్వీసులు కలిగి ఉంది. బీదర్ నుండి 150 కిలోమీటర్స్ దూరంలో ఉన్న హైదరాబాద్ విమానాశ్రయం తదుపరి ఉత్తమ ఎంపిక. బీదర్ నగర రైల్వే స్టేషన్ గురుద్వారా నుండి 4 కిలోమీటర్స్ దూరంలో ఉంది. బీదర్ చేరుకోవడానికి బెంగళూరు నుండి బస్సులు మరియు రైళ్లు అందుబాటులో ఉన్నాయి. మేము మాత్రం హైదరాబాద్ నుంచి కార్లో ఇక్కడికి చేరుకున్నాము. గురునానక్ జీరా సాహెబ్ గురుద్వారా సమీపంలో బస చేయడానికి స్థలాలు బీదర్ నగరంలో అనేక బడ్జెట్ మరియు మధ్యస్థ శ్రేణి హోటళ్లు ఉన్నాయి. గురుద్వారాకి ఎదురుగా చాలా పెద్ద పార్కింగ్ స్థలం ఉంది. ఇక్కడ కార్ పార్క్ చేసుకుని లోపలికి వెళ్తుండగా మంచి షాపింగ్ స్టాల్స్ అటు ఇటు కూడా ఉన్నాయి. ఇక్కడ మనం సిక్కులు ధరించినటువంటి టర్బన్లలా తయారు చేసిన క్యాప్లు కొనుక్కొని లోపలికి వెళ్ళవచ్చును. ఇవి లేకుండా దర్శనం నిషేధించబడుతుంది. లోపల అనేక మందిరాలు ఉన్నాయి. మంచి సంగీతంతో కూడిన అట్మాస్ఫియర్ని మనం ఇక్కడ చూడొచ్చు. ఒకవేళ పొరపాటున మనం ఈ టర్బన్లు పెట్టుకోకుండా లోపలికి వెళ్తే కనుక లోపల ఆల్రెడీ ఎవరైనా వాడి అక్కడ పెట్టేసినవి మనం తీసుకొని వేసుకోవచ్చు. ఇది డొనేషన్ బాక్స్లో ఉన్నాయి. లోపలికి వెళ్తూనే మనకి బౌల్స్లో చల్లటి నీరు అక్కడ ప్రొవైడ్ చేశారు. నీరైతే మాత్రం చాలా టేస్టీగా ఉంది. ఎక్కడికక్కడ సిక్ స్టాఫ్ మనకి గైడ్ చేస్తూ కనిపిస్తారు. ఏం చేయాలి, ఏం చేయకూడదు, ఎటు వెళ్ళాలి, ఏదైనా కూడా మనం వాళ్ళని అడిగి ఈజీగా తెలుసుకోవచ్చు. ఈ చోటు చాలా అన్ని వసతులతో ఎక్కడికక్కడ వే బోర్డ్స్ అన్నీ కూడా చాలా నీట్గా ఉన్నాయి. అండ్ చాలా క్లీన్ అండ్ మెయింటైన్డ్ టెంపుల్ లాగానే చెప్పచ్చు. అమృత్ కుండ్లో ఇలా నీరు ఊరిన చోటు, అక్కడ అలా నీరు ఊరడం కూడా మనం చూడవచ్చు. అక్కడ గరిటెలలో తీర్థ ప్రసాదం ఇచ్చినట్టుగా అందరు భక్తులకి కూడా వాళ్ళు చేతిలో ఆ నీరు పోస్తారు. ఇక్కడ బ్రీఫ్ హిస్టరీ ఆఫ్ గురుద్వారా శ్రీ నానక్ జీరా సాహెబ్ బీదర్ గురించి కూడా ఇక్కడ భక్తులకు చదువుకోవడానికి రాసి ఉంది. ఇక్కడ నీటిని క్యారీ చేసేందుకు కంటైనర్స్ కూడా మనం బయట కొనుక్కొని లోపలికి రావచ్చు. ఇక్కడ వాటర్ని మనం తీసుకొని ఇంటికి వెళ్ళొచ్చు. దర్శనం అనంతరం ఇక్కడ భోజనం చేయడానికి కూడా భోజనశాల ఉంది. ఎక్స్ట్రీమ్లీ హైజీనిక్ ఫుడ్, రైస్, రోటీ, రాజ్మా కర్రీ, కాలీఫ్లవర్ పొటాటో కర్రీ, ఖీర్ ఇవన్నీ కూడా మాకు ఆ రోజు భోజనంలో పెట్టారు. బీదర్లోని ఈ గురునానక్ గురుద్వారా మాకు అమృత్సర్ని గుర్తు చేసింది. ఇది ఒక మంచి ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్. మీరు ఆల్రెడీ విజిట్ చేసి ఉండకపోతే తప్పకుండా ఇక్కడికి వెళ్ళండి. The mountain top town that served as a capital of medieval Deccan has 98 monuments, of which 4 national monuments are protected by the Archaeological Survey of India and 14 by the State Archaeology Department, Karnataka. Bidar earned a place on the World Monument Watch List 2014. The historical monuments and sites in and around Bidar city belong to different periods of history: pre-Kakatiya, Tughlaq, Bahamani, Barid Shahi, Adil Shahi, Mughal, and Nizam. As far as the architecture is concerned, there is intermixture of Hindu, Turkish, and Persian artisanship. Some of the designs and decorative patterns seen in the monuments of Bidar are unique in India. Bidar Fort is considered as one of the most formidable forts of the country. Bidar city was distinctly planned and built. The main citadel complex housed the royal palaces, mahals, and mosque. Adjoining to this, on the southern side, the city was built for the people. Both the citadel complex and city has separate forts for protection. The plan of the Bidar city fortification is pentagonal. There are 5 gateways for entry into the city fort. It is the main citadel complex fort which is more strong. It is built on the brink of the plateau. Engineers and architects of various countries were employed on its design and construction. Sharjah Darwaza. There are massively built and beautifully decorated with huge domes, arches, and paintings. The Gurbank's Darwaz is an enormous, awe-inspiring structure. The thickness of this wall is 22 feet. The height is 45 feet besides the dome. A wide passage links it to Sharjah Darwaza. Between these two gateways, about 3,000 army men could take up position for the defense of the fort. Turkash Mahal. The building had stately dimensions and exquisite surface decorations. The coronations of several Brahmani and Barid Shahi sultans were held here. From the royal pavilion, which is situated behind Throne Palace, one can view the valley and lowland below. Shahi Malbak, Royal Kitchen, and Shahi Hammam, Royal Bath. This adjoins the Rangin Mahal towards the west. Originally, it appears to have been the residence of a prince or some dignitary. At different periods, it was used for different purposes. At one time, it was used as royal kitchen. During Nizam's period, it was used as a jail. The Shahi Hammam is situated very near to royal kitchen, quite close to the royal bath, and in front of the mosque, there was a Lal Bagh, red garden, so named on account of its beautiful layout or due to the red flowers grown there. In the middle of the Lal Bagh, one can see a beautiful cistern. Diwan-e-Am, Public Audience Hall. This monument was called Jali Mahal. It is situated to the west of the Zanana enclosure. The building has 2 entrances, one through the east and the other through the west. At the backside of the main hall, there are 3 rooms. The central room was probably the Sultan's chamber, where he sat before coming into the audience hall. The spacious halls adorned with tile work were perhaps meant for ministers and other top officers of the court. The Bahmani kings used to give audience to invited dignitaries here. The hall was fully decorated with colored tiles. The Hazar Kothari. In case of danger to the life while attack from the enemies, the members of the royal family needed safety exit to go out of the fort. Such a safe passage arrangement can be seen on a spot towards the south of the Takht Mahal. It is known as the Hazar Kothari. There is an underground hall for assembling, and from there a cave-like tunnel which leads to the outer wall of the fort. There is a long gun bastion near Virasangayya's temple, situated on the bank of the tank known as Bomgondane. On the northern side is the Purana Kila. Bahmani tombs. The Bahmani sultans were fond of constructing huge sepulchres. Several majestic mausoleums of their period are at Ashtur, 4 kilometers east of Bidar. Visit to Bidar is incomplete without visit to Ashtur. In all, there are 12 tombs at a place in row, which together give a very impressive look. They are huge structures with beautiful arches, niches, and lofty domes. The tombs of Ahmad Shah Awali is known for its walls on which verses are written in gold color with a dark background. The interior is decorated with fine paintings. It is interesting to note that the swastika symbol has been used in mausoleum for ornamentation. The paintings here depict lovely contrasts and skill of artists in blending colors. Urus Jatra is held here every year in which both Hindus and Muslims participate. The tomb of Sultan Alauddin Shah II consists of tile panels and carvings on the black stone margins of arches, which are very impressive. Other tombs here are built up of trap masonry. The arches in tombs are elegantly decorated with stucco work. Tomb of Ali Barid. Ali Barid II built his own tomb, which shows great improvement upon the Bahmani mausoleums. Its platform measures 47.28 meters on each side. The enclosure walls rise to a great height. There is a large dome with a circular base decorated with niches and mouldings. A mosque consisting of an open court, a cistern and a prayer hall and an arcade is attached to the tomb. Gumbaz Darwaz. The citadel fort complex is protected with 3 moats, which is very rare. The place fort complex could be entered from the city through 2 main gates on the southern eastern side by a zigzag passage and well-protected gateways. The Sharza Darwaza and Gumbad Darwaza are the main entrances gates to palace complex. Takht Mahal, Throne Palace. The royal palace was built by Ahmed Shah. It was the royal residence. The place was fully decorated with colored tiles and stone carvings, part of which can be seen even today. It has 2 side royal pavilions with lofty arches and a spacious hall at the back of which was the Sultan's room. The building had stately dimensions and exquisite surface decorations. The coronations of several Bahmani and Barid Shahi Sultans were held here. From the royal pavilion, which is situated behind Throne Palace, one can view the valley and the lowland below. Rangin Mahal. Though small in size, this place situated near Gumbad Darwaza is unique because of its decoration with colored tiles and other artwork. Wood carving done here is not only precious but also unique. The walls of Mahal are adorned with mother of pearl of the finest quality inlaid in jet black stone. Floral patterns and calligraphic texts are also depicted here. Stone carving, stucco art are other attractions of this monument. It was rebuilt during Barid Shahi period. The designs of this monument represent the blend of both Muslim and Hindu architecture. There are rooms in the basement of the Rangin Mahal. Gagan Mahal. This was originally built by Bahmani kings and some alterations and additions were made by the Barid Shahi rulers. It has 2 courts. The outer court was used by the male staff and guards. The inner court also, there are rooms on either side of the coverage passage for the accommodation of furads. The main building of the palace was for use of the Sultan and his harem. Sola Khamb Mosque. It is said to have been built in 1423 to 24 AD by Kubli Sultani when Prince Muhammad was viceroy. The mosque is known so as it has 16 pillars in the front. It is also called Zanana Masjid as it is situated near the Zanana enclosure. Old Naubat Khana. It was originally a Naubat Khana music gallery. Later it was used as residence of a commander of the fort. It has spacious hall with a room to the west and a platform in the front. In the north, there was a reservoir to which water was supplied from the well. The hall has beautiful windows in its back through which a good view can be had of the city walls and the buildings. The platform, which is in front of the building, is very extensive and it was place of pleasantness. Madrasa of Muhammad Gawan. The madrasa at Bidar, founded by Gawan, functioned like a residential university. It was built and maintained on the lines of Madrasa of Khursan. The imposing and spacious building of this institution is considered as an architectural gem and an important landmark of Bidar. Bidar Fort is an amazing getaway from Hyderabad at free of cost. Ikkada parking kuda free of cost. Manam cheskochu. And entrance, everything is free and it's a beautiful place to visit.